Zhongli! Look at this. Everyone in Liyue is caught up in their emotions, thinking that they'll never see Rex Lapis again. And here you are looking all relaxed.
Why would I not feel more at ease after laying down the burden I have borne for 3,700 years? Right. If the two of you can spare the time, I should treat you to a meal at the Xinyue kiosk.
Ha! That sounds like big talk, Zhongli. Paimon might have believed you if you were treating us to some third-round knockout, but you'd have to pay out your nose just to stand inside Xinyue kiosk. Are you sure you can afford it?
You're right. I do lack the Mora. As the Rex Lapis Morax, I can easily create Mora. But since I have chosen to walk this earth as the mortal Zhongli, I should abide by the same rules that mortals do. When I was journeying with you, though I still had the Gnosis in hand, I knew that I must soon retire from my role as an Archon, so I had to rehearse a little for my new life.
Oh, no wonder! Paimon gets it now. You didn't look at the price tags when we were spending because you've never had to. But since you weren't used to not being able to just make more Mora as and when you wanted to, you had to try becoming a parasite to society who lives off of other people's credit.
Well, we were only spending Fatui money. You don't have to say it like that. In the City of Commerce, we do not merely exchange money or goods. We also exchange knowledge, memories, and foresight, as well as positions, roles, and lives. The Archon Morax could never experience life as the true mortal Zhongli could, no matter how many times he descended to be with his people. I must thank you for that. I will treasure the memories that I made as Zhongli, traveling the streets of Liyue with you. That is true, but there is no journey that does not end. No meetings without partings.
Paimon thinks that we should make a move and continue our search for the Seven.
I fear that continuing your journey may be difficult. The nation that neighbors Liyue by sea, Inazuma, is presently closed. The Electro-Archon Ball. And just as the people of Liyue preferred to call me Rex Lapis, she too goes by another name among locals in Inazuma.
Paimon thinks we've heard that one before. Raiden?
That is the case. And since Raiden is also the Shogun of Inazuma, people call her the Raiden Shogun.
That said, though people at the wharf were saying that the situation in Inazuma is very tense, Paimon doesn't remember that always being the case. It wasn't that bad last year. Zhongli, since you're Rex Lapis, shouldn't you know something about what's happening there? Just how did Inazuma become a closed nation?
It's because of visions.
Visions?
When faced with circumstances beyond their control, humans often bemoan their lack of power. But if a person shows true strength of will at a desperate and fateful moment in their life, the gods will look upon them with favor. This is what visions are. Magical foci bestowed upon those who have been acknowledged by the gods.
That's how people in Teyvat see it.
But starting from last year, the Raiden Shogun began promulgating the Vision Hunt Decree.
Vision Hunt Decree?
Yes. It was an order to seize all visions within Inazuma's borders, and to inlay them upon the hands of the statue of the omnipresent god.
They want to seize visions. But why? Aren't visions blessings from the gods?
I should think that in the Raiden Shogun's eyes, it is precisely because they are divine blessings that they should be under the sole dominion of divinity.
Whoa! gosh.
The Animo Archon is the god of freedom, and the Geo Archon is the god of contracts. For her part, the Raiden Shogun is the god of eternity. It seems as though she has finally decided to eliminate any unstable elements that could pose a threat to her eternal realm. The fact that even I, the oldest of the seven, have now passed away, will only strengthen her resolve to pursue eternity. Knowing her, she must have again quoted that adage she is most fond of when proclaiming that decree to her people. 7 ideals for 7 gods, and of these, eternity is nearest unto the heavenly principles. All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know?
Yeah, about that. Before the Chising made their announcement, we listened to a lot of people talking on the way. Most of them put the blame for everything on Child.
These are indeed false accusations. But it remains undeniably true that Child did send people to the Jade Chamber to prevent the Adepti and the Chising from defeating the ancient god. I've heard that Ningguang is busy milking that for all it's worth on the foreign relations front at the moment, browbeating the envoys of the Fatui. Ha! Those poor Snezhnayan diplomats. If it were not for Child's exalted position as a harbinger, I'm certain that they would have shifted all the blame to him and called for his dismissal by now. All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know? The time of the Adepti has long passed. If even the Liyue Chising don't want to face that truth, then what future is there for Liyue? Kuching is absolutely right in saying this. Now, though I did laud Ningguang's desire for power, believing this to be a good thing, and thought as a matter of course that she must have been behind the Chising's plan to take governing power over Liyue from the hands of the gods and Adepti, could the original person who brought up the idea of seizing power have been... All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know? Ah, that was a good one. Failing a divine trial. How they came up with that excuse, I will never know. That said, the reason why the Chising were so eager to resolve the incident and stop pursuing the culprit was indeed because they received news in secret that Rex Lapis was not dead. I hinted as much to the Adepti as well. How did I accomplish that, you ask? Have you ever heard of this particularly convenient Adepti art known as gifting dreams and visions? All right then. Was there anything else you wished?
That's right. Zhongli, now that you don't have your gnosis, what's going to happen to all the Mora in Teyvat? Since Morax is dead, are they all just gonna disappear? Also, isn't the Golden House the only mint in the entire continent? Will it even continue to work?
The Mora present now will not vanish. But the Golden House will indeed have to cease operations for a lengthy period of time, since creating Mora requires the use of the Geo Archon's power.
This is terrible! We're all about to run out of Mora! The world is coming to an end!
Yes, this is indeed a major issue from a financial standpoint. Well, I suppose we'll just leave such troublesome matters to the Liyue Chising to debate.
Then, did you at least set some private funds aside for yourself?
Oh, a private fund. This does seem like a good, logical, common-sense idea. It's a shame.
What's a shame?
It's a shame that I didn't think of it at the time. All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know? Well then, I suppose you'll have to find a way to get inside this closed nation. Have patience. I suspect that some serendipity must first come into play.
Please, over here. It has been a while since you joined the Adventurers Guild. Are your adventures going smoothly? Is that so? Apart from your own skills, reliable teammates are also indispensable when adventuring. Another person to count on is always good after all. But recruiting such dependable companions is no easy matter, is it?
Yep, and it's even harder to get a guide as good as Paimon.
Ah, yes. I do have some information that may be of help to you. Let me consult our records. Ah, there it is. There's been a certain blonde stranger who arrived in Mondstadt lately, dressed in most unusual clothes.
Blonde. Dress is all funny. It feels like Paimon's heard this one before. Wait! Do you mean... Does that stranger's face look anything like hers?
Like the honorary knights? No, they couldn't look more different. This stranger is a very tall man, and even has an eye patch.
Seriously? How does this have anything to do with Kaya? Eye patches can't prove that you're related anyway.
That stranger declined the guild's invitation, so I can't say that I know anything about the relationship between him and Mr. Kaya. Nonetheless, you can look for him if you're interested. Perhaps he might accept your commission instead. After all, it is not uncommon for some adventurers to not want to be limited by the guild, but be happy to accept a fellow adventurer's requests. And should the stranger be a strong adventurer indeed, he would certainly be a big help on your journey. Please don't talk down on yourself like that. You are the honorary knight of the Knights of Favonius, after all. Your deeds are the stuff of song for all the bards in the city, even now. Well, as to further news about him, you may want to ask Mr. Lawrence. He stands guard at the city gate, so he may know something about that stranger. I wish you every success, adventurer.
Honorary knight. Is something the matter? A stranger with an eye patch. Let me think. Oh yeah, I remember seeing someone like that. A blonde stranger dressed in unusual garb. He was wandering all over Mondstadt at first, which I found rather suspicious. So I decided to keep an eye on him for a while. I lost him pretty quickly. Still, I didn't think that this was such a huge matter that we needed our outrider to pursue him by air. As long as Master Jean is here, there's nothing to fear from some suspicious, unusual-looking person.
That might be true, but if it were up to Jean, she'd take this way more seriously.
That is true. But on the other hand, knowing that Master Jean may overreact to the situation is all the more reason to not tell her, no? Anyways, oh yeah, he was at Wagner's smithy for a while before I tried tailing him. He might have said something to Wagner. You should go ask him. Maybe he has more news about our stranger.
What? You need something? Here, I remember him. He showed up a few days ago asking to buy a bunch of forging materials. Can't say I've heard of any of the materials he mentioned, though. He then had a look at the weapons in my shop before leaving. I've heard that he can be found drinking at the Angel's Share. If the Knights of the Guild want to get hold of him, that's the only place to be.
The Angel's Share? Well, Master Diluc probably has his eye on that stranger too, then. Anyway, let's go to the Angel's Share and have a look.
What will it be? Grape juice or apple cider?
Hey, Charles! Have you seen a blonde stranger who wears an eye patch around here by any chance?
That I have. He comes here every night. Just to drink, though. Doesn't order anything else. He even sometimes mixes his own drinks after he orders them. I don't know anything else about him, but from his selections and mixes, I'd say that he's quite the connoisseur.
And what's Master D-Luke's opinion?
Why, I just gave it to you. Quite the connoisseur.
Investigating everything as always. Guess that's D-Luke for you.
If you're looking for that gentleman, he ordered some new bottle of wine in advance yesterday. So he should be here today, too. There's too many raucous patrons on the first floor, so if you want to wait, best to go to the second. Ah, welcome, sir. The wine that you previously ordered is here.
He's really here? Let's go downstairs and have a look.
Drink some more.
Wow, he's got no intention of paying us any mind, huh?
A traveler, you say? Why are you traveling? Well, that's as good a reason as any. Sit down over there, then.
So, guess we've broken the ice. What a weird guy.
That little one beside you.
Uh-huh, we're the best of friends.
It's indeed a good thing to have someone accompany you on your travels. My name's Dainsleif. I suppose you have some business with me? Sure.
And he was so cold just a moment before. Paimon's got a bad feeling about this.
But I will require advance payment. 500 mora, and 3 answered questions. The 500 is a one-time fee, and we'll settle the questions in a moment. That's it.
Well, now Paimon's got a really bad feeling. That kind of compensation can't be right.
Ah, thank you. Now, as for my questions, I'd like you to answer them here and now. The answer to a question says nothing about right and wrong, only about differences in attitude. I only wish to know what your choices are. You need only answer. Question 1. The crisis Mondstadt faced was resolved by an alliance between yourself and that Animo Archon who calls himself Venti. Who, in your view, was the key to ending that crisis? I know everything that I should. Well, answer the question. Is that your answer? I see. Question number 2. Rex Lapis, who has defended Liyue Harbor for millennia on end, used his gnosis to lay down a contract to end all contracts, of which the stipulations are still unknown. Who do you think will defend Liyue Harbor in the future, now that they've lost their deity? So that's your answer? I see. Now for my final question. This world has people who gained visions and those who did not. Which of the two do you think hold more importance in the eyes of the gods? So, this is your answer then? I understand. It seems that you're different from him. I'll take that 500 mora. And now I also understand your views on this world. As we agreed, you may now commission me. That said, I only take commissions related to the Abyss Order. Like you, I am currently on a journey. You intend to find your sibling, while I wish to oppose the Abyss. Ugh. Those creatures that serve the Abyss are the fangs and claws by which the Order spreads chaos in this world. I have come to Mondstadt this time while on the trail of an Abyss Herald.
An Abyss Herald?
An even more twisted abyssal being, one that commands the Abyss Mages.
Oh, that's right! We've just been fighting against the Fatui and Liyue, who are human too! We haven't encountered the non-human Abyss Order at all!
There's some reason behind that, I'm afraid. It's possible that they may have been under orders to avoid your path.
Oh, that does sound pretty dangerous. Maybe they're looking for a better time to ambush us or something. Uh-huh, we're super duper strong!
That manner, it's just like his. Well then, let's go see for ourselves, shall we? According to the leads I have on hand, the Abyss Order has re-infiltrated the Temple of the Falcon. Let's meet up at the temple. Perhaps your questions about the Abyss will be answered there.
Ah, children, come, come. You've arrived at just the right moment. I've been looking for you.
Oh, what is it, Granny? Need any help?
Oh, no. You've done so much for Liyue Harbor already. I could hardly ask for more. In fact, my old friends and I have been putting our heads together to think of what sort of gift we might give you in return.
A gift? For Paimon?
Oh, child, you are so very modest. Uncommonly so, even. But you mustn't decline this gift. I simply won't allow it. When you traversed my old teapot in search of the cleansing bell, I heard your little friend mention that you often camp out in the wilds. That simply won't do, especially since I imagine you still have a very long journey ahead of you. Fortunately, I have not yet grown so old as to see my subspace creation abilities atrophy. Oh, did my friends never mention that to you? Well then, it is a blessing we old folks once received from Rex Lapis, part of our illumination, if you will. I will not go into too much detail, but subspace creation is the ability to create a small, autonomous pocket world. The teapot that you entered previously was a little trinket created using that ability.
So, in the eyes of an Adeptus, creating a magic teapot world is just child's play, huh?
Oh, indeed, the teapot is nothing to boast of. One such as myself must depart from this realm to create a world of one's own. Rex Lapis, on the other hand, moved mountains and seas. That is what one might call an exercise of true power. But that's enough nostalgia for now. The gift that I have prepared for you just requires a few final materials to add the finishing touch.
That's right! Finding stuff's what we're good at, after all.
Oh, settle down now, children. There's no need for you to go running hither and thither. I have already found a fleet-footed youngster to prepare what I need. What's more, I doubt that you would know how to find the materials I am searching for. Some of them are very rare indeed these days. Well, for starters, I require some shimmer soil from the banks of Dihua Marsh. Back in the day, it could only be found where the glazed lilies thrived most profusely. You would have to dig downward, following the roots of the glazed lilies, and if you were lucky enough, you just might find a small patch of shimmer soil there. But almost no one has been able to find shimmer soil in this manner since Dihua Marsh came to be the way it is today. Even more difficult to find is smaragdus jadeite, which must be chiseled from the rock of the chasm. Or so it used to be. Ever since the Blackcliff Forge opened for business, they've slowly but surely stripped the mines all but completely bare of it. In any case, smaragdus jadeite is an adepti treasure, and the adeptal power within is not something that most humans can withstand. Extended contact with it is, in fact, harmful to humans. Goodness knows if that child will succeed in finding these items.
Well, since you're an Adeptus, Granny, the person you asked for help, they must be an Adeptus too, right?
Yes. I suppose she does count as an Adeptus.
She counts? How come there are so many Adepti in Liyue Harbor? We seem to bump into them all the time. It feels like even when you go out to eat, you could be sitting next to an Adeptus and never even know it.
Oh, maybe so. Who can say? A fair few of my old friends are rather fond of mundane mortal life, after all.
I'm back, Granny. Oh, I don't believe we've met.
Allow me to do the honors. This child here is Yen Fei. She's the one helping run some errands for me. Yen Fei, I believe you've already heard of the traveler and her traveling companion.
Of course, who hasn't? Much has been written about you in the Millilith's records. You became one of Liyue's most wanted after the Millilith marked you as a suspect following the incident at the Rite of Dissension. After which, you fought off the Millilith at Julian Karst and made contact with the Fatui. Before finally defeating an ancient god together with Granny and her associates, and subsequently being cleared of any and all suspicion by the Chising. What a shame. A shame that we didn't meet sooner. If we had, well, I can't say that I would have been able to clear you of suspicion immediately, but it certainly would have been less, embarrassing for you. Allow me to introduce myself once more. I'm Yenfei, a legal advisor. Got a legal problem? You can come right to me. Oh, yes, here's my business card. You'll find it has my contact details and office address. Keep it handy. If you have an urgent issue, just leave me a note at this address. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, I offer a very generous discount for first-time customers.
All right, Yenfei, all right. Let's get to the business at hand. I do not think these two are in any dire need of legal assistance at the moment. You'll have to excuse Yenfei. She's always been like this, ever the talkative one when it comes to her own affairs.
Paimon was gonna ask the same question. You seem really different from the ones we've met before.
An Adeptus? I guess, kinda. My old man said he was one anyway. He mentioned that he once campaigned with Rex Lapis for a long old time, and then after that was all over, he went back and married my mom. They had me, and once I was all grown up, the two of them upped and left on a journey, leaving me with Granny here.
Well, that's a bit casual for an Adeptus. Aren't you guys supposed to sign solemn contracts to protect Liyue Harbor and all that stuff? What do you mean he just went back to get married?
Well, my dad did say that he'd talked it through with Rex Lapis and that he was fine with it. Even contributed towards the wedding gift, apparently. Anyway, let's not dwell on that too much. So, Granny, I've gotten a hold of most of the stuff you asked for, except for Smaragdus Jadeite. I couldn't find any at all.
Is that so? But Smaragdus Jadeite is really rather essential. Yanfei, are you sure you can't find some other way? They have helped Liyue greatly, after all. It is only right that they are duly rewarded.
I know, Granny, you've told me 1,000 times already. Well, the chasm's definitely a no-go, but there's still a chance we can figure out some alternative means of procurement. Hold on a moment. Let me have a look.
Whoa, that's a really thick book. What kind of things do you write in there?
Commercial consultancy. Or Snezhnaya. Ah, found him. Krusell. A Snezhnayan merchant who once came to me with some legal queries on certain articles in the legal codices. If my memory serves, all of them had to do with rare ores. He mentioned that he was considering acquiring some Smaragdus Jadeite to make hairpins, and wanted to know if there were any legal ramifications that he should be aware of. Said he was planning to sell them in Snezhnaya. So, I guess I'll go look for him. With any luck, he'll have gotten his hands on some Smaragdus Jadeite, or might have an idea of where we can find some. Oh, you want to join me? I suppose that's no problem, but it's best if you just stand by and watch. If you try to get involved, you'll only risk placing yourself in legal jeopardy.
Wow, an Adeptus imploring us to avoid incurring legal liability. Well, that's a first for sure. Best we be a little more careful than usual while we're with her.
Hello, Mr. Krusell. How's business been?
Oh, good, very good. All thanks to your advice, Miss Yanfei. What brings you here today?
You're too kind. I was simply doing my job. Now, I believe that the last time we met, you mentioned that you were looking to source some Smaragdus Jadeite to make hairpins. Have there been any further developments on this front?
Well, yes. As a matter of fact, in the end, I did acquire a small piece of Smaragdus Jadeite and had it fashioned into a pair of hairpins. Miss Yanfei, might I presume that you have an interest in the hairpins? I must apologize. I've already rented them out to a lady named Zhiqiao. If you'd like to inspect them, you may have to wait quite some time.
Wait, isn't Smaragdus Jadeite really rare? Aren't you worried about the hairpins getting damaged or lost while they're being rented out?
No, I'm not worried in the slightest, because I signed a contract with Miss Zhiqiao before renting them to her. The contract makes it quite clear that if she loses or damages the item in question, she must compensate me for its full original value. In return, I included a clause that guarantees the Smaragdus Jadeite is genuine, with a penalty of 10 times the item's value payable by me to Miss Zhiqiao in the event that it is shown to be a fake.
Guaranteed genuine, with 10 times the value payable if this claim is shown to be false. Yes, these terms are very clear indeed.
Of course. This way, both the client and I have the assurance we need. To ensure fairness, each of us has retained an original copy of the contract.
In that case, might you know where Miss Zhiqiao lives? We'd like to pay her a visit and have a look at the hairpins.
Oh, of course. She wrote her address down when we signed our contract. Here, I'll mark it on your map for you.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Krusell. We'll be off now.
You can't beat the atmosphere here at
Leo Lee Pavilion. Best Lee food in town.
Whatever shall I do? Yes, that's me. Is there something I can help you with?
How do you do, Monsieur Chow? We understand from Mr. Crossell that you recently rented a pair of hairpins from him. My associates and I are very interested in them. Would you mind letting us take a look at them?
The hairpins? I can't lend them to you right now. I've lost them. I don't know how it could have happened. I always kept them right by my side, and I hadn't even worn them yet. I spent so much money on them. If I have to pay their original value, there's no way I could come up with that amount of money on such short notice. My family is in the ore business too, but business has been suffering ever since the chasm was sealed off. We now have a backlog of paid-up orders just sitting around, so we've been having to purchase some stock from other ore merchants to complete them. A big banquet is coming up in a few days, and several ore merchants I know of will be there. I need this opportunity to mingle and discuss prices. That's what the hairpins were for, to keep up appearances. I can't have them looking down on me. But now that I've lost the hairpins, what will I do?
Why does Paimon have a sudden strong sense of déjà vu?
Would you really? I sent a commission to the Adventurers Guild, but I haven't heard anything back from them yet.
Hold on. Don't run off looking for the hairpins just yet. Monsieur Chow, would you let me have a look at the rental contract you signed?
Huh? Well, I mean, sure, I have it right here. Here you are.
Let me see.
That's right! Yanfei said she's a legal advisor, didn't she? Maybe she can help Juqiao somehow. True, though surely there must be a win-win solution.
Right. I finished reading the contract. The terms are very clear, and they do indeed stipulate that you must pay Mr. Crossell the original value of the hairpins as compensation for the loss. Furthermore, the contract also expressly states that the amount of compensation must take current market prices into account. And given the rarity of Smaragdus Jadeite, I fear that the final amount of compensation may end up being significantly higher as a result.
Even higher? Oh, no.
Uh-oh. Juqiao looks like she's about to faint.
However, all of this is assuming that it is indeed genuine Smaragdus Jadeite that was inlaid into the hairpins.
Did you really have to pause before saying that part? Anyway, the hairpins are lost, so how exactly would we be able to find out if the jadeite is genuine or not? Whichever way you look at it, we've got to start by finding those hairpins.
Except that if we found the hairpins, there'd no longer be any need to check whether the jadeite is genuine, would there?
Seems right.
Please, don't trouble yourselves over this. The fact is, I lost the item, and I should pay compensation per the contract. However much it is, I will have to pay it. My family are merchants, after all. It's vital that we keep our word and respect our contracts. Now that it's come to this, I really shouldn't keep Crossell in the dark any longer. I'll go and inform him of the issue, and then negotiate the amount of compensation.
Yes, legally speaking, it seems this is the most sensible course of action. But before that, I have some questions about the hairpins. So hold on a moment, Monsieur Chow. When you first touched the hairpins, what did you feel?
What did I feel? Well, I remember that the gemstones set into the pins were perfectly smooth to the touch, like the finest quality jade. My family has seen much jade pass through its hands in the past, so I am quite certain of my judgment in this matter.
Smooth to the touch. Finest quality jade. No, it's nothing. I just need to re-examine a few things. Let's head over to Mr. Crossell's.
Ah, Miss Yanfei, you've returned. With Miss Jiqiao in tow, too, I see. How are the hairpins? I trust you're quite satisfied with them?
About that.
You lost them? Are you serious? Do you have any idea how expensive they were?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Truly, I am. I'll pay the compensation as per our contract. Every last mora.
Mora? Do you have any idea what I had to go through to get my hands on that Smaragdus jadeite? I just don't... Forget it. Talking won't bring them back. Since Miss Yanfei is here, I suppose we can just have her estimate the amount that needs to be paid.
No problem. But before I can give an official estimate, I'll need to do a little market research. Ah, yes, and if I may just confirm again, it was in fact genuine Smaragdus jadeite inlaid into the hairpins, correct?
Of course! Genuine article guaranteed, or I pay back 10 times the value.
All right, understood. I'll conduct some market research, and once I'm back, I'll provide an official assessment of the sum owed by Mr. Chow in compensation. Please wait here, Mr. Crossell.
Thank you very much. How could she lose my hairpins? She'd better pay every last mora that they're worth.
Looks like I'll have to find some way to raise that money.
Please wait, Mr. Chow. I have something to discuss with you. It's not convenient to speak here, so let's find somewhere that we can sit and talk in more detail.
You can't beat the atmosphere here in Viva.
Perhaps some of you will have heard the news already. I am, in fact, planning to rebuild the Jade Chamber.
Rebuild the Jade Chamber? That's a huge project!
So the rumors are true. No wonder the price of building materials has gone up so much lately.
The Jade Chamber means a lot to Lady Ningguang. Getting involved in this would be a huge opportunity. Lady Ningguang, is there any way we can be of service?
Patience. Since the news made it out a few days ago, I have already had many people contacting me to declare an interest in joining the project. Nevertheless, I do have a few matters I should like to entrust to you here today. The building site has been chosen, and most of the materials have been assembled. 3 key items are, however, still outstanding. They are as follows: Sunset Vermilionite, Wonder Cores, and Adepti Sigils.
Excuse my ignorance, Lady Ningguang. I'm familiar enough with Plostrite, but I've never even heard of those other 2.
Only sufficiently large pieces of Plostrite, or specifically Vermilionite, may earn themselves the Sunset moniker. This stone is what allows the Jade Chamber to float. Wonder Cores, meanwhile, are the central components of the mechanical structure of the Jade Chamber. Adepti Sigils serve as a means of integrating the mechanical devices with Adepti art. They are as indispensable as the mechanical core itself. Although these 3 items are rare, I trust that with your connections and capabilities, procuring them will not be a question of if, but of when. I take the saying, time is money, more seriously than most. Efficiency is everything. I will pay a generous price for the materials that you find, and in addition, the first 3 people who collect all the materials will have the opportunity to ask me a question. You may ask me anything. and I will give you an honest answer. I trust that this means of compensation will be to everyone's satisfaction.
These things won't be easy to get hold of. But if it means a chance to get some inside information on Liyue Harbor's development plan for next year...
Then it's the deal of a lifetime. Information from Lady Ningguang is priceless. Whoever gets to it first takes the market.
Haha, what a coincidence! I won't divulge too much, but I heard some murmurings about some Plostrite just the other day. So excuse me all, but, I have some business to do.
No. We better move quickly, or this opportunity will be snatched away from us.
Ningguang's rebuilding the Jade Chamber? This is a huge deal! Let's get involved!
So you heard my announcement, did you? What do you think? Interested? Yes. Providing the question pertains to something I am knowledgeable about.
Really? Ooh, then Paimon will ask you about how to run a business! Then we'll never be short of Mora ever again.
Of course. But how much information I share with you will depend on your performance. The construction of the Jade Chamber requires a great deal of space. The abandoned mine outside the Golden House has been selected as the building site. Once you have collected the materials, please take them there. I have other business to attend to now. Otherwise, I would gladly escort you to the site in person. When you do arrive, please seek out my secretary. Remember, this is a race against the clock. A rare opportunity presents itself to you. Do not let somebody else snatch it from your grasp.
Ningguang seems super busy. Come on, we'd better get going. First, we gotta get out of Eugene Terrace. Huh? Look! It seems like there's something kind of fishy going on over there.
Ma'am, you seem like an eminent and distinguished young lady to me. I can see that you're easily gonna win this procurement contest Lady Ningguang has set up. As it happens, we have some information about the materials that I really think might interest you. Come on, let's find somewhere a little more private, and we can get down to brass tacks.
No, I don't need it.
Ah, don't be like that. Hey, come on! Don't go! Why don't you stand there after her?
Oh, right, yeah.
Well, will you look at that, ma'am? Nowhere left to run. Don't worry, we're not bad guys. You give us some Mora, we give you a little info. Everybody's a winner.
Boss, I got a bad feeling about this. Look at her, the white hair, the energy she gives off. I'm telling you, there's something different about her.
So what? She's loaded. How are we ever going to repay those gambling debts if we just let money walk away from us, huh?
I've already told you, I don't need your information. If you still can't grasp that, I'm happy to repeat it in a way that won't be so easy to forget.
Come on, ma'am. You seem like an intelligent lady. I shouldn't have to spell this out to you. It's not about whether you need the info or not, okay? It's about you taking out your money and handing it over and nobody getting hurt.
I won't...
No more excuses! I know you have money. I saw you. Yeah, I saw you. Strolling into Liyue Pavilion, ordering a table full of food, and only taking a few bites. Then Xinyue Kiosk, then Wanmin Restaurant. Same story each time. You order all the signature dishes, take a few bites, then you're on your way again. How could you afford to be so wasteful if you weren't from a rich family? And since you're so rich, what's the loss to you in giving us a little spare change, huh?
Master warned me not to lay a hand on anyone in Liyue Harbor. But here we are. Perhaps... yes. Let's call it fate.
Boss, I'm telling you, something's not right.
What are you afraid of? We're just selling information. It's not illegal. If she lays a finger on us, all the better. We'll sue her for everything she's worth.
Oh, you again.
The Millilith? What are the Millilith doing here? Did you do this? You ought to mind your own business! I swear!
Silence! How dare you threaten innocent civilians? You're coming with us.
No, don't be angry, sir. Please, let me explain.
Shenhe.
Shenhe?
My name.
Oh, so your name's Shenhe. Paimon's name is, well, Paimon. And this is Paimon's travel buddy.
Oh, I've heard about you two before. Thank you for helping to defuse the situation. I could have dealt with it myself, though. I suspect smashing his head against the ground a handful of times is all it would have taken to get him to surrender.
You can't do that. That's way too violent. This is Liyue Harbor. There are laws against that kind of stuff, you know.
Laws? No, apparently not.
Really? So how exactly have you...
That would be my stomach growling. I haven't eaten enough.
She's so honest. Wait, that's right. They said you went around all the restaurants ordering this and that and the other, but only took a small bite of each dish. Then of course you're still hungry. So, anything in particular you're hungry for?
Chingson, glaze lily, violet grass. These are my usuals. Medicinal herbs?
Kinda hard to explain. Anyway, Boo Pharmacy's not far away. Let's take Shenhe there for a big medicinal meal. After all, you can't work on an empty stomach.
Herbs? I do hope you brought your prescription.
Chingson, glaze lily, and violet grass, please. Half a pound of each.
What kind of prescription is this? Sounds more like a lunch order. Oh, here you go. That's everything we have in stock.
Thank you.
She's really eating them.
My hunger has now abated. Thank you. Rather awful. Though they were not completely devoid of sweet fragrance. After consuming a large quantity of them, bitterness is all that remains.
So, how come you chow down on these and barely touch the restaurant food? If Paimon had enough Mora, Paimon would go to the fanciest restaurant in town and order a whole table of food and eat it all in one go.
Because I'm not sure whether I will remain here in the future. The food of the mortal realm is most delicious, but should I return to the mountains, yearning for the food here shall only pose an obstacle to my continued spiritual development. Sampling each dish in order to appreciate its taste is enough.
Return to the mountains! That proves it! Paimon knew she was an Adeptus!
Enough about me. What are your plans from here?
Oh, right! Paimon almost forgot! We came out to take part in the Rebuild the Jade Chamber competition! And now we're probably super behind because we've been held up for so long.
I see. I heard something about the contest when I was passing by.
Yep! You get to ask Ningguang any question you want if you win! Were you interested in the contest too, Shenhe?
I came for the rebuilding of the Jade Chamber, but until this point I had no intention of joining a contest. However, you have shown me your kindness, and I would now like to lend you my assistance. Oh, don't worry. I ask for nothing in return.
Wow! You really don't have to. But having an Adeptus help out will make things a whole lot easier, so...
Then let's not delay. I have a plan.
Great! Paimon bets this is gonna be the awesomest plan ever!
I am not sure whether or to what extent this plan can be classified as awesome. I do, however, believe it will be highly effective. We simply need to dispose of everyone who is currently ahead of us. Then, we alone shall become the victors.
Veto! That is not acceptable! Not by a long shot!
Really? But I hear that competition is in essence about conflict and one-upmanship.
Look, we want to win this competition fair and square, okay? Sunset Vermilionite, Wonder Cores, and Adepti Sigils. Let's start at the top of the list and work down. So, for Plostrite...
I was wondering who I could hear arguing over there. So, it's you.
Baiju? What are you doing out here?
Lady Ningguang wishes to purchase a large batch of wound dressing. We're running low at the store, so I came out to fetch the ingredients personally.
Huh? How come Lady Ningguang needs so much wound dressing all of a sudden?
I'm not too sure. I did hear she's looking to rebuild the Jade Chamber. Maybe for its first aid on site? I didn't ask, though. Far be it from me to pry into my customers' personal affairs. Oh, and she also borrowed Chi-Chi. Meaning Boo Boo Pharmacy is very short-handed right now. I don't suppose any of you are looking for part-time work by any chance?
No, we've got other stuff to do. While you're here, though, you seem to know a lot. Have you ever heard of something called Sunset Vermilionite?
Ah, the variety of Plostrite used in the Jade Chamber, yes? There is some mention of it in the Seven Mountain Treatises. When activated, Sunset Vermilionite rises up all the way into the clouds. It's very rare indeed. As far as the records show, virtually all Sunset Vermilionite in existence has been mined and taken possession of. But the Feiyun Commerce Guild would know far more about this than I do.
Okay then, let's go ask at the Feiyun Commerce Guild. Thanks, Baiju.
You're quite welcome. Good luck to you all. And if there's anything further you need from me, just come to the Boo Boo Pharmacy.
Xingqiu, thank goodness you're finally back.
Oh? Why do I detect an urgency in your voice?
The guild has had a whole string of strange orders in recently. Everyone's been completely caught off guard. Your father gave me specific instructions to ask you to stay and help out if I happen to see you.
I see. Have someone sort the orders by type for now. I'll deal with them myself shortly.
Oh, how wonderful. Thank you, Master. With you on the job, I can breathe a sigh of relief.
Hey, Xingqiu! Glad you're here. We want to ask you for some information.
Traveler, Paimon, please wait a moment. Shu, I need to entertain some guests. Please continue with your work for the time being, and we'll discuss the matter of the guild's orders in more detail later on.
Understood, Master Xingqiu. Then I will leave you in peace.
I wasn't counting on finding you here today. What's going on? And how, pray tell, may I be of service?
Xingqiu, have you ever heard of Sunset Vermilionite?
Oh, I see. So you've entered Lady Ningguang's contest as well.
As well? Do you mean...
The truth is, the Feiyun Commerce Guild is in possession of some Sunset Vermilionite, but only one piece. We are holding it on behalf of someone who has asked us to put it up for auction. and a lot of interested parties have already come to us inquiring about the price. At the end of the day, it all comes down to supply and demand. In this case, I'm guessing the final transaction price may be in excess of 500 million mora.
500 million?!
Honestly, I would recommend that you don't bother bidding on this one. The price is greatly inflated, and it's just not worth it.
But without any sunset vermilionite...
Don't panic. I don't suppose you ever heard of Sea Gazer?
Who?
Sea Gazer was once very close to Mountain Shaper, but if I am not mistaken, he has already passed away.
Yes, precisely. I didn't know anyone else knew about him. According to records of drifting clouds, Sea Gazer once built an abode to store his rarest and most exquisite treasures, among which was some sunset vermilionite. After Sea Gazer passed, the abode was abandoned, and its location was lost to time. Luckily, I came into possession of a stack of folk history books just recently. They make some oblique references to this lost abode, and after cross-referencing them against each other, I'm now fairly certain that it is situated in the Lisha area.
That's great! But is it really okay for us to just go and take his treasure? Wouldn't it be a little, disrespectful? With him being an Adeptus?
You needn't worry. As far as I understand, Sea Gazer was very open-minded. Even while he was alive, he wouldn't have let something like this bother him.
Open-minded? I have not heard of Sea Gazer being described in this way before. May I ask where you read that?
Just a rumor I heard out in the mountains. All right then, let's go.
There's something about this young lady that reminds me of a good friend of mine. Oh, I almost forgot. Adepti abodes tend to have very ingenious designs, especially when it comes to their defense mechanisms. Plus, it's likely to be crawling with monsters after being abandoned for so long. So please, be very careful.
Okay, we will be. Thanks, Xingqiu. Paimon doesn't see anything.
This place was hidden using a special Adepti art. But now that I have removed it, we can inspect the area more closely.
Wow, that's amazing! Yep, let's take another look around. Hey, look! Is that a new Sealy over there?
Hi there! Checking in, are we? You're just in time. We only have 2 rooms left. Since this was chosen as the building site for the new Jade Chamber, we've had a constant stream of people in this area. And not just workers either. Visitors, business people, tea sellers, all sorts. So, business is booming for me today. Very few vacancies. You're lucky you got here when you did.
Great!
One of your rooms is still being cleaned. I guess it should be ready within the hour. The other room is just through the door on the left. Here are your keys. All right. Hope you enjoy your stay. Please excuse me, I'll leave you to it.
Shenhua, you should go get some rest. We'll hang around outside until the other room's ready. Paimon's gonna go see if there's anything good to eat around here. Paimon couldn't help but notice one of the guests walk in with a huge grilled chicken drumstick before. Let's buy one for Shenhua too. She can have it as a midnight snack. Or save it for breakfast tomorrow.
All right. I will head to my room for now. If you need anything, don't hesitate to disturb me. I'm a light sleeper. I will hear if you knock on the door. See you tomorrow.
Hey! Isn't that Cloud Retainer? What's she doing here? high.
One trusts you have met Shen-He. So, are you getting along quite well?
So far, so good. Yeah. So, you know Shen-He too, Cloud Retainer?
Naturally. Save for Ganyu, who spends the majority of her time in Liyue Harbor. All the Adepti living today are acquainted with Shen-He to some degree.
Cool. So, what's her Adeptus name anyway? Calling her Shen-He feels kind of friendly, but also kind of disrespectful. So Paimon's thinking maybe it'd be better if we called her by her Adeptus name instead.
Her Adeptus name? Why, pray tell, would Shen-He have an Adeptus name?
Don't all Adepti have a special title they go by?
On this latter point, you are correct. However, Shen-He is human.
Oh, right. Wait, what? Paimon neither! This is a real surprise!
Do you mean to say that she presents differently from ordinary human beings?
Well, to start with, her problem-solving methods are extremely direct.
Ah, yes. She was like this all those years ago when one first met her. In this respect, she has not changed. One first found Shen-He by chance in a cave. One was passing by and sensed the presence of a god's remains. Being of an ever-vigilant disposition, one entered immediately to inspect the scene. Inside was Shen-He, then aged around 6 years old. In her hand, she held a dagger with which she was confronting a monster that was the god's remains incarnate.
That sounds so dangerous.
When one arrived, she had already been locked in confrontation with this monster for several days. Most mortal children are fragile, both physically and mentally, and are highly reliant on their parents for survival, but not so her. That she was able to endure such terrible danger was due not only to her strong willpower, but also to the bloodlust and homicidal instinct with which she was born. One dealt with the monster, yet she still refused to lower her guard. She even pointed her dagger in one's direction and remained ready to strike. Only after she was satisfied that one had no intention to cause her harm did she finally relent. She then passed out without uttering a single word.
In other words, if you hadn't passed by that day, Shen-He might have...
Not necessarily. Upon one's arrival, one could sense that the god's wrath was gradually receding. Even had the stalemate continued, one suspects that Shen-He may have still emerged the victor of the confrontation.
That's still so dangerous, though! Why was a tiny little kid battling against the wrath of a god in the first place?
Alas, the mortal world is rife with suffering of every kind. And she had experienced her fair share of this, even at a tender age. Seeing that she was homeless, one decided to adopt her. Indeed, it is one to whom she refers. Shen-He has an extraordinary constitution, making her well adapted to practicing the Adepti arts. All the Adepti cherished her talents, and so we were willing to train her. However, her homicidal urges did not subside with age. Rather, they grew stronger day by day. Mooncarver once performed a divination for her. He declared that her fate is to bear the curse of calamity. Consumed by malevolent energy, she is prone to bring harm to those around her. Such is the magnitude of the danger this poses, that her soul must be bound with red ropes to keep her homicidal instinct at bay. The red ropes have indeed served to keep her calmer and more content. They also seem to have rendered her somewhat inexpressive. Perhaps the red ropes are so powerful that they have suppressed some of her other emotions as well. It is only by fate that people's paths may cross. Now that Shenhe's path has crossed with yours, please be sure to treasure the gift that fate has given you, and take good care of her.
Oh, now Paimon gets it. You came out here to check up on Shenhe because you were worried about her, didn't you?
Huh. You dare draw such a facile conclusion on the nature of one's present excursion? Incorrect. The truth is that while Liyue Harbor may seem peaceful today, danger is always lurking in the shadows. Ningguang once made a bold assertion that this is to be the era of the contract between Liyue and the humans. Well, one is most curious to observe how she will respond to the coming storm. If she handles it admirably, one is willing to be a witness to her achievements. But if she does not, the Adepti shall not hesitate to seize control. Let us conclude our conversation here for today. One has occupied enough of your time, and night is approaching. Be sure to get ample rest.
So, Shenhe isn't an Adeptus after all. She just grew up around the Adepti. Oh, no wonder she doesn't like being treated as an Adeptus. Having everyone falling over themselves to show their respect all the time must be kind of hard to deal with. Hey! So, Shenhe...
Master has relayed my situation to you, I take it.
Oh? How did you know?
I'd intended to wait until you came back before going to sleep, but I didn't hear you come in. I was worried that something may have happened to you, so I went outside to check and caught sight of my master. On top of this, you have been acting very strangely around me this morning, causing me to suspect that my master must have told you everything about me. After all, Master is... very talkative.
Sorry, Shenhe. Paimon had you down as an Adeptus this whole time, but it turns out Paimon was wrong.
It's okay. I don't mind. The fault is mine for not explaining everything to you sooner, because in my experience, trying to explain is a futile pursuit. Still, though you mistook me for an Adeptus, you never treated me as distant and unapproachable. Instead, you treated me as you would a friend. For this, I am very grateful indeed.
To be fair, we've met our fair share of real Adepti, too. Anyway, now it's settled. From now on, you're our friend. Whether you're an Adeptus or a human isn't the important thing. First and foremost, we're just plain old friends.
Got it. Although I don't know quite what it entails in terms of what I have to do, I must say I like the title Friend very much indeed.
Great! Well, now that we're all rested up, we should start searching for the other 2 items on the list. But before we do that, let's go to the building site and ask Ningguang's little helper how the progress is going. After all, Sunset Vermilionite is so rare. Paimon doubts many competitors will really be able to find any. If it turns out some of them have given up already, we'll be able to take things a little more slowly. Oh, and And another thing, we bought some grilled chicken drumsticks on the way back last night. There was a place just outside. Look! Look! The Jade Chamber is floating into the sky! But it seems to be tied down by something.
That's because it's not finished.
Hey, Byron! And hey! People Paimon doesn't know?
Given the enormous scale of the Jade Chamber, we split the construction work into 2 phases to make sure the structure remains balanced. Before we find some suitable plastrite, we build the Jade Chamber's keel at ground level. Once the plastrite is ready, we place it into the keel and let the partially constructed Jade Chamber rise up to the height of the surrounding mountain peaks. The remainder of the construction work is then carried out at that altitude. Once everything is ready, we release the iron tethers and allow the Jade Chamber to rise to its target altitude.
Miss Bywin, we've brought some new materials to submit.
One moment, I'll be right there. The construction work has only been able to progress this rapidly thanks to the plastrite provided by you. Lady Ningguang is most grateful and looks forward to seeing more of your work.
Wow, can't believe you sourced the plastrite so quickly. It's the key piece of the puzzle. Looks like you beat us to the punch.
Wait, I know you. You're the one who fought against the Fatui and Osile, right? Oh, sure enough, your reputation precedes you. Pleased to meet you. I'm Beto, captain of the Crux.
Beto? Are you here to join the Jade Chamber contest too?
Sure am. I happened to get my hands on a chunk of sunset vermilionite on a voyage a while back, so I figured I'd bring it over.
Huh. So even though it's rare, we're not the only ones who managed to get a hold of it.
Oh, I've got some introductions to do. This is the renowned Miss Yun, or Yunjin, probably the most famous figure in the Liyue opera scene.
Greetings.
These two are Paimon and the Traveler. I'm sure you've heard of them before. And this is... sorry, I'm not sure we've met.
Shenhe. I am their... friend.
Good to meet you. Well, from today on, I guess all of us are friends. Miss Yun is also here for the contest. Turns out she needed to borrow a boat, so we came together.
It's an honor to finally meet you both. I've heard much about you. Miss Shenhe, though we are only meeting for the first time, I have a feeling that we will get along very well indeed. To be honest with you all, I am in great need of this opportunity to ask Lady Ningguang a question. That's why I joined the contest. Thanks to my father's connections, I was able to acquire a specimen of the plastrite required. Fortunately, it was approved for submission, despite being a little on the diminutive side. Wow! So it looks like the 3 of us are competitors now! Excuse me for prying, Miss Shenhe, but are you competing as well?
No, I don't have any questions for Ningguang. I just wanted to help her win.
In that case, I have a proposal to make. Lady Ningguang said that the first 3 contestants to procure all 3 materials will be awarded the chance to ask a question. Well, there are 3 teams here. We can split the prize between us. Instead of competing against each other, we could work together to secure the top 3 places between us. What do you think? Sounds great, but how does that change things exactly?
I think I see where you're going with this, Miss Yun. The plastrite was the most difficult item to source by a long shot. Luckily, all 3 of us managed to get our hands on it. The 2 remaining items aren't quite so rare, so as long as one of us finds a way to source it, the other 2 can hop on the bandwagon. How'd I do? Is that what you had in mind?
Precisely.
Huh. Interesting approach.
Okay then. All right. I'll go first. I have some leads on these wonder cores. From what I've heard, the core itself is really not that difficult to make. The hard part is getting hold of the ore used as raw materials. I'm gonna head back to the ship and ask Su Ling if he's heard of them. You guys...
We will head into town and seek advice from Master Zhang of Hanfeng's Ironmongers. Thoughts?
Wonderful. We'll split into teams then, and whoever makes progress first brings all of us a step closer to victory. I'm gonna take off. See you later.
Okay, let's go! By the way, what question are you gonna ask Ningguang, Yunjin?
I'm looking for a venue to host the performance of our new opera. Lady Ningguang has excellent judgment, so I would like to hear her opinion.
Ooh, what's the opera called? Paimon wants to go see it.
The opera is a labor of love by my father. He wrote it based on a popular urban legend about an evil spirit and an adeptus. It's called The Divine Damsel of Devastation. My father as a child. I remember it being such a long climb that I could barely feel my legs by the time we reached the top. This is quite a trip down memory lane for me. Look at these majestic, towering peaks and the gently flowing streams. It's like setting foot in paradise. No wonder the legend of the Divine Damsel of Devastation is said to have taken place here. Adepti wander oft where mortals seldom stride. Indeed, this looks like a place that one might expect to be frequented by adepti.
The Divine Damsel of Devastation is your upcoming opera, right? And the story takes place in Mount Tianheng. Huh. Seems like you have a real connection with this place. What's the story about, though?
It's the story of a girl becoming a hero.
Cool! A hero story? They're Paimon's favorite!
The legend first arose in this area. It is said that there used to be a prosperous village on the mountain. In that village, there was a loving couple who were completely devoted to one another. One day, a terrifying monster appeared. The wife was out collecting herbs and was captured by the monster. Her husband was so distraught at the news that it broke his spirit and drove him to madness. The vile and vicious monster told the villagers, "If you want to live, you must sacrifice a child to me."
What a nasty piece of work! Paimon sure hopes this monster gets put in its place!
But the monster was so terrible and so strong that all within the village were terrified of it. They had no choice but to give in to the monster's demand. Just while they were discussing whose child would be given over to the monster, a little girl suddenly stood up and came forward.
No! Don't do it, little girl!
Unbeknownst to anybody else, she was concealing an exorcist's blade. She approached the monster's lair, feigning fear and trepidation. When she finally arrived, she courageously drew her sword and entered into a fierce struggle with the monster, from which she eventually emerged as the victor. Her extraordinary abilities drew the attention of the Adepti, and they took her as one of their own. Her story became the stuff of legends. But alas, the paths of mortals and Adepti seldom cross, and she would never again re-enter the mortal world. And so, destined to grace the mortal realm for but a brief moment, she vanished like a wisp of smoke into thin air.
I really like this story. But I personally think that perhaps the little girl was not as brave as the opera makes her out to be. I'm not sure she deserves all the praise she is given.
I've never considered that before. Opera is always an interpretation of the events it purports to portray. A certain degree of deviation from the truth is always inevitable. When my father wrote the script for this play, I suppose his intention was to inspire his audience with the character of the Divine Damsel.
I think it's a great story. The ideal story.
Well, it sure inspired Paimon! Let's go get ourselves some Star Splinter Iron! Yeah! Yunjin, looks like you were right. Excuse us, sir. Can we ask you something? Huh. He didn't seem to catch that.
Hello, sir. We were just passing by and wanted to ask if you happen to know anything about Subrosium.
Is he trying to tell us to look for clues in the village? Well, whatever. Guess we're on our own here. Shenhua, Yunjin, let's have a look around.
Sorry, you can go ahead without me. I'd like to have a word with this gentleman. If that's okay with you, Uncle Mingjin.
It's...
Shenhe.
Shenhe. You're alive. The rumors were true. So, all these years? I'm sorry, I don't know how to find Subrosium, but I think you can find some information in the village. This place is deserted now. No one ever comes here. So you can rummage around all you want.
Huh? You know this guy, Shenhua?
Thank you, kind sir. We'll go and take a look around. Don't worry. Mingjin has no ill intention towards Miss Shenhe. She'll be quite safe.
Okay, then let's see what we can find in this village.
I was back visiting. I heard a story about a white-haired adeptus from a merchant passing by. I never imagined it was you. I was a very close friend of your father's. I could have stopped him from performing the summoning ritual. I had plenty of chances, but I couldn't bring myself to stand up to him. I just let things happen, let it all escalate. Well, we all know how that story ended. I bring flowers back here every year. And each time I wish I had a chance to apologize to you.
Apologize for what? If you'd stopped him, he'd only have found another way. There is nothing he wouldn't have done for his true love. Nothing.
Do you still hate him?
I don't know what I feel. I'm told my fate is to bear the curse of calamity, so my master bound my soul with red ropes to curb my aggression. But it also dampened my emotions, making me dispassionate, like the Adepti. So if you ask me how I feel about the past, if I hate my father or not, the truth is, I feel nothing at all.
It must have been so tough for you all these years.
Shenhe, we're back!
Oh, then I will leave you all in peace. Shenhe, it brings me some solace knowing that you are okay. I'll tell you more about the old times next time we meet.
Thanks, mister. We found some info in the end. Shenhua, look! This tells us how to find Subrosium. All we gotta do is go to the middle of that lake.
Let's go then.
Miss Shenhe, there's something I'd like to talk to you about. Just now, in the village, we found your father's diary. It turns out that many of the details in the Divine Damsel of Devastation are not true to the facts, so I'd like to change them.
Why?
I know I say that opera always deviates from the truth, but now that the main character is standing right here in front of me, I cannot simply dismiss your lived experience in favor of my father's fiction.
It's okay. I like your version.
Huh?
My master once said that the day I learn how to use my strength for the good of others is the day that I can truly become part of human society. So, I hope that one day I might be brave enough to stand up and protect others, just like the girl in the opera. But I've never thought this way before, and I wonder whether I will continue to think in this way.
Don't worry. I believe you will. In fact, I think maybe you've already started to become the person you aspire to be. You just haven't had the opportunity to see it for yourself yet.
Shenhua! Yunjin! Cut the chit-chat! Let's go! We can't let someone else beat us to it!
Oh, goodness.
So, are they okay?
This is some top quality ore you found. I think I'll get a good end product out of these. Guess now it's my time to shine.
Hey everyone, how's the A-team doing? I ran into a bit of a brick wall on my end. Suling's never seen a Wonder Core before, and says it'd take a lot of research for him to get up to speed.
Leave the Wonder Cores to me. I'll work on them while you go about your business. Don't worry. It won't take me too long.
Much obliged, Master Zhang. We should look into the Adepti sigils next, but where should we find items relating to the Adepti?
I'll sort that out.
Oh? You got this then?
Yes. I have been training with the Adepti for years. I know a thing or two about making sigils. When we first met, I told you I came for the Jade Chamber, not the contest. In fact, I came specifically to deliver Adepti sigils. Master heard that Ningguang was planning to rebuild the Jade Chamber, so she sent me to deliver some Adepti sigils to her. Master also said she hoped that I can take this opportunity to rejoin human society. But now that I'm here, I wonder if I've been removed from the world for too long. There's so much basic knowledge that I lack. Maybe it won't work for me to stay here after all. But either way, I'm very glad to have met you, and I'll take care of those Adepti sigils.
Without knowing the ins and outs of your situation, I can't say whether you should stay or not. But now that our paths have crossed, we'll always have a connection. So if you're ever feeling down, come find me on my ship. There'll be a drink waiting for you.
Thank you. So, Master Zhang, I'll need to use your facilities to make the sigils.
Fine by me. I'm actually curious to see how the Adepti arts work. Maybe I'll learn something.
Whew. The sigils are ready. Though they are in some respects inferior to my master's, I can assure you there will be no quality issues.
I've finished forging the things you asked for, too.
Great! Let's go submit them before someone else gets there ahead of us! Little secretary, we found all the materials!
Oh, already? All three of you found them together. Okay, I see. The Wonder Cores and Adepti sigils look good. It seems that we found our winners. I hereby announce that the winners of this material procurement contest are the Traveler, Yunjin, and Beidou.
What? It's over already? I haven't even found the plus strike yet!
I can't believe it. So close, but so far.
I'd like to invite our three winners to please proceed to the Jade Chamber, where Lady Ningguang is waiting for you.
Huh? Where's Beidou? She was right here!
Captain Beidou has some business to attend to. She will join later. Please come with me for now.
Alright then, guess we'll head on up to the Jade Chamber first! This has been a long time coming. The last time we went up to the Jade Chamber was ages ago.
Combine the Adepti sigils with the Wonder Cores and insert them into the Jade Chamber's control compartment. The construction of the new Jade Chamber is now officially complete. Once the tethers are released, it will soar into the sky. Thank you all for your work. Now it is time for me to fulfill my promise.
Yeah!
Miss Yun, I've already heard something about the reason for your involvement. You are looking for a venue for your new opera, aren't you?
That's right. Lady Ningguang, I would like to hear your opinion.
The unveiling of Miss Yun's grand new opera surely requires a venue of equal grandeur. So what would you say if I proposed that we stage your first performance right here, in the newly built Jade Chamber? The Jade Chamber offers a splendid panoramic view of the mountains and the bustling city. It is fitting for the finest performance to be hosted in the heavens. I can think of no better stage for you than here, Miss Yun.
Thank you, Lady Ningguang. Then I will prepare my props and other articles shortly. Please allow me to bring all these aboard the Jade Chamber.
You're quite welcome. It's truly what a good opera deserves.
A traveler, Shenhe, Paimon, I'll be leaving now. Do come and see my play when the time comes.
You're next. What is your question? I should clarify. I do not know your brother's whereabouts. Please, don't waste your question on this matter.
Wow, you're a mind reader, Ningguang. Oh well, guess Paimon will ask a question then.
Managing a successful business is not as simple as you might think. Capital, connections, sensitivity to the trends, and instinct for what is a good opportunity. All of these traits are crucial. If you want to know how to make money, I will honor our agreement and give you an answer. But that is not to say that it will work for you.
Wow, Paimon hadn't even asked the question yet.
Your question was written all over your face. Now look. You helped me rebuild the Jade Chamber, and I intend to repay you handsomely for it. So I promise you that should you one day require financial assistance, you may seek employment here. I will pay you at the highest rate of remuneration.
Oh, great! So next time we run out of Mora, we just need to come to Ningguang? No more questions from us. Shenhe, you got a question?
Me?
Yes, this is a group effort.
Thank you. But I don't have anything to ask.
Are you sure? This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I'd urge you not to squander it.
Yeah, just don't waste it. Hold on a second. Paimon can probably think of another one.
Lady Ningguang, do you think I can ever fit in Liyue Harbor?
Now that is an interesting question. Liyue Harbor is very inclusive. As long as you respect the rules here, you will not be turned away. So, the key is whether or not you yourself can develop a sense of belonging in Liyue Harbor.
Huh. A sense of belonging?
Yes. To become fond of a place, to feel part of it, it always requires a reason. Perhaps someone you've met, or something you've experienced here. Or perhaps you enjoy the atmosphere of Liyue, and you will become accustomed to it. In short, everyone needs a reason to stay. I hope you can find yours soon.
I see.
Hey, what's going on? I just went to see the fleet a little later than expected.
Come on, Beidou! It's your turn! Do you have a question for Ningguang?
Me? Nah, I ain't got any questions. She forced me to help out, so I figured I may as well get involved with the contest. Ningguang, don't forget what we talked about. It's not gonna be easy to deal with. I don't think my fleet can take it on their own.
Don't worry. I have made preparations. The wound dressings are ready, and the Millilith have set up an ambush.
Glad to hear it. Watch your back. Stay alert.
Beidou? Ningguang? What are you talking about?
You'll see when the Jade Chamber ascends. However, it's not the most pleasant topic of conversation. Maybe it's better that you don't know. When I first set foot in the Jade Chamber, I stood at the edge of the platform and looked down upon Liyue Harbor far below. At that time, I dreamed that one day the Jade Chamber's shadow would be seen at all 7 nations of Teyvat. My wish has not changed to this very day. However, it is not only out of consideration for myself that I have built the Jade Chamber anew at this time. I hope the Jade Chamber will always float in the skies above Liyue Harbor, bearing witness to the prosperity and peace of the human world. And I hope that you can all witness it with me. Let the Ascension ceremony commence! Right on cue. The Avenger of the Vortex, Beisht.
Who is that?
Osial's wife. Final follower of the Overlord of the Vortex.
Sounds like you knew this was coming!
Beidou sensed something was stirring in the deep. She warned me months ago. Knowing she harbors hatred toward the Jade Chamber, I chose to rebuild it now as a way of drawing her out.
Got it. Well, let's go fetch the Adepta.
No.
Huh?
In this human age, the people of Liyue must find a way to overcome this crisis on our strength alone!
What's that? Wait! A giant wave!
You are a cursed child. Your life brings nothing but disaster to us all. At least if you die, I can bring her back.
The day you learn how to use your strength for the good of others is the day that you can truly become part of human society.
What are you doing here? I'm just a little exhausted. Otherwise, fine. I wanted to deal with it myself. I didn't expect you to follow me. Don't worry. She's not coming back anytime soon. After an injury like that, she'll likely seek refuge somewhere else.
How did things go underwater?
It's been dealt with. She was injured before entering the water. It didn't take too much effort to finish the job.
Good. So the crisis has been safely averted. When you visit the Jade Chamber in the future, you will be afforded generous treatment.
Lady Ningguang, the fleet reports that the sea monster has left Guyan Stone Forest and the surrounding waters have returned to normal.
Thank you. How are the Millilith?
Thanks to the medical supplies you prepared and Lady Keqing's command, our losses were minimal. Of course, we owe huge thanks to this young lady for her help. On behalf of the entire Millilith, thank you for your service.
Great. Then next time I watch Miss Yun's opera, I'll be able to take the compliments. I wasn't trying to be a hero, though. I just wanted to protect you.
Let the soldiers recuperate, but don't let your guard down. If she returns with a vengeance, we must be prepared.
Yes, ma'am.
You've been monitoring us for some time now. I trust you've reached a conclusion.
You wish to hear one's opinion. Well, things would have hardly gone so smoothly had it not been for Shenhe.
That I do not deny. However, final victory was always going to be ours, even had things been a little more arduous. If it came to it, I could always destroy another Jade Chamber.
One has observed your adaptation of the Guizhong Ballista, and find oneself compelled to admit that you have evidenced some degree of novel thinking. You have learned from past failures and prepared for this crisis in advance. This is considerable progress compared to the last time. Hence, on balance, one finds your performance during this trial satisfactory enough. But there will no doubt be further trials to come in the future. Do not suppose that one will not continue observing you hereafter.
While the position of Tianquan remains mine, I will always ensure Liyue's safety.
Shenhe, one saw you secretly venture out from the mountains a few years ago, and noticed the air of dejection in which you returned. Hopefully this trip to Liyue Harbor has been a different experience.
Yes. I can't explain it, but I feel happier than I expected.
Good. Traveler, please take good care of Shenhe. She is a dear child. In fact, one has many fond memories of Shenhe's childhood that she may be interested to hear about.
There'll be no need for that.
Oh. They are all like this. Fine. Since you care not to listen, one shan't be telling you. One shall be going homeward now.
Please, have a good rest. Come to the Jade Chamber when you have recovered your energy. We must celebrate both the completion of the Jade Chamber and the fact that Liyue has weathered another crisis. This banquet must be the most spectacular ever.
It's Paimon's first time attending a banquet in the Jade Chamber. The food here looks amazing.
All of you here are my distinguished guests. I am determined that each of you thoroughly enjoys yourself. Those who don't drink alcohol, please, help yourself to other beverages. Fine wine is a delight to the senses, but it is far from the only one. I trust you will find the marvelous view from the Jade Chamber to be an equally gratifying indulgence.
Have you heard? Miss Yun's going to be performing today.
Sure have. Honestly, it's the main reason I'm here. I've never missed any of Miss Yun's performances, and I don't intend to start now. I hear she's going to perform The Divine Damsel of Devastation today, the one written by her father. I've been so excited that I've barely slept the last few nights.
Hey, look! Miss Yun is going on stage!
批冠到这里本该接近尾声，但今日我再添一笔，唱与诸位听。知道为民言不实，自有知音何情思？红缨烈丽见了心，只知无愁心。彼时鹤归，茫茫天地无依靠，孤身离去。今日再会，新朋旧友坐满堂，共聚此时。
What did you think? Personally, I thought I sang rather well.
It was beautiful. Paimon wants to learn too.
It was wonderful. Also, thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks to you, the Divine Damsel of Devastation is a more nuanced tale than ever. The play has an ending, but life goes on. I believe you will find a way to fit in Liyue Harbor.
Thank you. I think I've found the opportunity I needed to change.
Ms. Yun, here you are. Great to see you. Huh? Hey, this young lady with the white hair looks like some kind of VIP. Yeah, that's it, like an Adeptus. Wait, you're the girl from the opera, aren't you? The Divine Damsel herself. And look who else we have here, the illustrious traveler. Well, I'll be. This was definitely worth showing up for. Let me pull up a chair, all right. We'll all have a friendly chat, get better acquainted.
Alternatively, you could leave us alone. That is, if you'd prefer to finish your drink via the orifice of your own choice.
Uh-oh, this feels all too familiar. Shenhe's back to her old self again.
Hey, what are you doing?
Calm down, Shenhe. Calm down.
I only get to listen in from the other side of the window and don't get to join in the debate. I'd love to give my 2 cents.
Say what? What's up? What's up? Paimon wants in.
Recently, all the customers at the tavern have been debating the exact same topic. Who is the strongest fighter in Mondstadt?
The strongest fighter? Must be someone who can floor a whole gang of hilly churls with just one punch. Then Paimon nominates you. But anyway, is there like a general agreement in the city on who it is, or...?
Expecting people to come to a swift and straightforward consensus in the City of Freedom is like expecting fisherman's toast to drop out of the sky. Everyone's got their own opinion, backed up by a unique set of cherry-picked information. But let's be honest, that's what makes the discussion so impassioned and entertaining. Mainstream opinion is polarized, with most people supporting one of 2 candidates. One is the Dandelion Knight, the other is the Dark Knight Hero.
Ooh, Paimon votes for you. But let's go into the tavern and talk to the patrons. Maybe we'll pick up some juicy gossip.
Oh, I do envy your life of leisure. But don't mind me, of course. I guess I'll just get back to work.
Oh, Master Jean! Sorry to bother you. We're collecting intel on the strongest fighter in Mondstadt. Do you have, one of those official Knights of Favonius verified ranking table thingies?
Strongest fighter in Mondstadt? Huh. I am sorry, but I cannot help. I do not have any relevant documentation on that topic.
Oh, well that sucks. Paimon was hoping she would at least make the top 5.
Well, although I do not have the data to make such an assessment, I will say that my faith in our honorary knight's abilities has never wavered. Which reminds me, recently one of the Abyss Order's mages has been active near the city, although he is keeping a low profile. If you are staying around Mondstadt, please be on the lookout for danger. Given your, well, high-ranking fighting strength, I trust you will be able to help keep the area safe.
Awesome! After she beats the Abyss Order, she'll climb up that ranking table faster than she climbs up all those cliffs. Well, either way, smashing the Abyss Order to bits is the right thing to do.
I like your enthusiasm. It is infectious. But be careful out there.
Are you all right?
I'm fine. I'm not hurt. Sorry for bumping into you.
Hey, look! There's some writing on here. Explosion inside city wall. Grounded be thy woe. Explosions can hurt people. Jean can be dreadful. Mondstadt be bombed. Klee be doomed?
Yikes! Mr. Kaya wrote these down for me. They're, survival rules.
Survival rules?
Yeah. Rules that I must absolutely never break under any circumstances. Otherwise, something terrible would happen. Yep. Ah, I forgot forgot to introduce myself. My name is Klee.
And Paimon's name is... well, Paimon.
I've heard all about you guys. You're the honorary knight who helps Mondstadt.
Wow! More recognition, yay! Paimon is so happy right now.
I heard it from Amber. But wait, no, there's no time for this right now. I'm dealing with a big emergency. I grabbed my map and ran as fast as I could all the way here. The treasure I buried in the Whispering Woods, it's gone.
Did you say buried treasure? And she has treasure. Seriously? Clay gets Six-Finger Jose's vote for strongest fighter in Mondstadt? What is wrong with people? Lost treasure is a big deal. Let us help you find it.
Yay! Thanks, you guys. Here's where the map says the treasure should be. I put a circle around it. I also put a wooden sign in the ground at the place where I buried it, to make it easier to find.
Paimon is starting to understand how this treasure went missing so easily.
Come on, Miss Honorary Knight, let's go! We're here! This is the place! Look, this is where my huge treasure was buried!
And where there's now a huge empty hole in the ground. It's an Abyss Mage! Hey, maybe he's the one Jean was warning us about. What's that in his hand?
My treasure!
What?
I see the little girl has brought her friends with her. Time for a change of plan.
Hey, you! If you think you're so tough, get back here and fight!
What's it?
The Abyss Mage must have snuck inside! Klee, do you need a rest? Why don't you wait here while we get your treasure back for you?
No! I'm coming with you. It's my treasure that Mr. Fluffball stole, and it's up to me to get it back. Don't worry, Klee is a big girl. Come on, Miss Honorary Knight, let's go!
You followed me. I must say, I'm impressed. But this is as far as you will get.
Oh, yeah? What are you gonna do?
Oh, the human proclivity to gossip has provided us with everything we need. We learned that your little red friend had in her possession the most powerful treasure in all of Mondstadt. That treasure is now in my hands. There is nothing you can do. Now your precious treasure shall be your undoing.
No, wait! Don't touch it!
Oh, how you fret now your predicament is finally clear to you. Now, what have we here? A flame symbol.
No! I broke the survival rules. Explosions can hurt people. Jean can be dreadful. This is it. This time, I'm done for.
Wait! So Klee's treasure is a bomb? No wonder Klee was rumored to be the strongest fighter in Mondstadt. Paimon, for one, is never picking a fight with her, ever. Hold on. Why has she gone and run off? Seems like it. Well then, let's head to the Knight's headquarters and report to Jean. Klee? You're here too?
I turned myself in.
Huh?
My bomb. I hurt someone. I broke the rules. I'll never see the light of day again.
Klee, I need you to answer me. You said someone was injured. Where are they? Why is that?
But Mr. Fluffball was only a thief. He didn't deserve to blow up.
Hey, come on now. Paimon already told you that the Abyss Mages are the bad guys. And actually, they're the worst kind of bad guys you can imagine. They don't just hate the good guys. They hate all people. Their enemy is humanity itself.
Mr. Fluffball was a bad guy on purpose? Mr. Fluffball is the enemy of humanity? What? I don't get it.
This was an oversight on my part. I did not tell you these things before because you are still young. In fact, the Abyss Order is a hostile force in Mondstadt, which has been unusually active lately.
Aha! That's it! Paimon understands now! They were tracking down poor Klee because they heard rumors about her treasure. Just like the way Paimon's first reaction was to try and get her hands on... no! To try and get the facts on the treasure.
So, does that mean?
In light of your contribution on this matter, I will allow you to take part in the next Ludi Harpastum.
Ludi Harpastum? Whoa! Miss Honorary Knight, you've gotta come too!
Whoop-de-doo! It's a happy ending!
Except
what?
Klee, where did you hide the treasure to begin with?
I
Were you trying to blow up the fish in Starfell Lake again?
I wasn't! I swear I wasn't!
She's giving us that look that means play along.
Klee?
I'll see myself to solitary confinement.
Paimon bets Klee must get bored in there all by herself.
Ooh, yes, please! Wait, no, I can't. Klee needs to be a good girl and think about what she did. Stop tempting me. Anyway, while I'm grounded, I'm making an extra special new treasure, the Ludi Harpastum version.
When you say treasure...
I made it into the shape of a harpastum and everything. It looks so cute. Just wait for Ludi Harpastum. Oh yeah, they're gonna love it.
Yeesh, if Jean was listening to this, Klee might find herself grounded for an awful lot longer.
I wouldn't call not having to gaze upon such a creature a shame exactly. Still, I do believe that you will come across one eventually.
No, you're right. If it's a really powerful monster, it would be best to go around it.
How good it would be if all perils one encounters in their journeys could simply be solved by going around them. Once upon a time, yes. I simply have experience from adventuring together with that traveling companion.
You know, Dane, you keep talking about that person this and that person that. Where are they now, anyway?
He... no longer travels. I'm afraid that traveling can be too exhausting at times.
Oh, is that how it is? Well, Why are you traveling alone then?
I still have some things left unfinished. Once they are done, I too will return home to rest.
Yep, and it's good to have a home to come back to, isn't it? We camp out a lot when we travel. Hey, once you find your sibling, we should find a place to stay too, shouldn't we? Mondstadt's Fisherman's Toast is pretty tasty, but Liyue's Wanmin restaurant is great too. Either way, we should settle down in a place where there's good food.
Home. Well, it won't be too late to think about where you stay once your journey reaches its end. While you're still traveling, you should...
Huh? What's familiar?
A familiar feeling, you say? It could be someone you know well, or perhaps a monster. Whichever it is, we should see it for ourselves, and thus see clearly. We can reach the top of that cliff from over there. Let's go.
Oh, Dane moves really fast, doesn't he? Let's use that wind current nearby to catch up.
Can you still sense that familiar feeling that you spoke of earlier?
But it doesn't feel like there's anything around here. No monsters, no people, nothing.
Indeed. There doesn't seem to be anything strange about this place. It doesn't look any different from the last time I was here. My traveling companion brought me here on our previous journey.
So, Dane, what about you? What's your favorite place?
Me? I no longer remember. I merely followed my traveling companion around on that journey. That's all there was to it. Huh? A ruin guard's footprint. A ruin guard was wandering around here? No peace to be found, even for a single dandelion.
What's gotten into you? You were just spacing out. Huh? You mean your brother? But how could that be? You only touched that dandelion for a second.
Perhaps that dandelion bears some sort of scent that only you recognize. As for why, has it perhaps experienced something related to you?
You're saying some real confusing stuff. Paimon doesn't get it at all.
Do not rush. Vexation and anxiety are the enemy of rational thought. Your journey has only just begun, has it not? At least you now know that he is still on this world. At this time, the most important thing is the journey to find him itself. Yes, and this is something you must keep in mind as the meaning behind your journey. May you find your kin at the end of that journey. Well then, let us part ways here for now.
Huh? You're You're leaving? Already?
Only for now. Don't worry. We will meet again. After all, I did take 500 mora and those 3 answers you gave me.
Oh, yes! Yes! They have the audacity to go after anything! The 7 dragons, gods. No ancient artifact that relates can escape their greedy ambitions. Still, this time is different. Who do they think they are, going after the Abyss Order's treasures? Oh, Traveler, it's you.
Huh? Ganyu, what are you doing here with Lan? Do you have a commission you need to post?
Hello. We were just discussing the treasure hoarders.
Yes. We were just saying how even the audacious treasure hoarders should know better than to mess with the Abyss. It's just too evil.
But we recently received intel from the Ministry of Civil Affairs that 2 big-time treasure hoarders in Liyue and Mondstadt are planning some big joint operation.
2 big-time treasure hoarders?
Yes. They're known as Big Sis of the South and Raptor of the North.
Oh, Raptor! Paimon remembers he tried to run away from Amber and Mondstadt. But who is Big Sis of the South?
You already know something then. I guess you must have crossed paths with the treasure hoarders many times before. You are correct. She's the head of the treasure hoarders in Liyue. As I understand it, the treasure hoarders all call her boss. Some say that the god of thieves even bestowed a gift upon her for her exploits, making her Big Sis of the gods. But that's probably just a wild rumor.
Anyway, the treasure hoarders discovered some previously unexplored ruins that the Abyss Order has been secretly guarding in the shadows. Despite how dangerous that makes it, all the treasure hoarders can think about is what kinds of treasure could be inside. They have already devised a plan. They will send out a decoy to divert the Abyss Order's forces away from the ruins, then send an expert thief inside to steal the treasure.
To this end, Big Sis and Raptor have reportedly recruited a certain Grand Thief from Fontaine.
Grand Thief? That's quite an impressive-sounding title.
Oh, indeed. He is an extraordinary individual. The Grand Thief is highly respected in the treasure hoarders, in the same way that we adventurers look up to great adventurers. Ah, you met the living legend himself while you were in Mondstadt. Correct. The Grand Thief is someone just as renowned as him. So, despite being relative big-timers in Liyue and Mondstadt, Big Sis and Raptor had to put in a lot of work to convince a thief of his status to come and personally oversee this operation.
With the major changes in Liyue recently, the Ministry of Civil Affairs and the Millelith already have their hands full. They don't have any time to investigate rumors about treasure hoarder activity. But anything related to the Abyss makes me feel like there is some unknown danger lurking beneath the surface. So I decided to come to the Adventurers Guild to post a commission.
Leave this commission to us!
Oh, thank you so much.
Good to see this in the hands of a reliable guild member. Well then, good luck. The guild will take care of the details of this commission.